The soccer tournament, TST, has hit day 5, and we've whittled it down from 64 teams to 8, 4 on the men's side and 4 on the women's, as we chase those matching $1 million prizes. The weather is heating up, and so is the competition. Let's take a look at the women's bracket presented by RBC Wealth Management to get a sense of where we stand heading into the games today. The 2 semifinals you'll see on the women's side, U.S. women, the defending champions, taking on Reunion City, Dallas. That one coming up at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN+. The defending champs won in a rematch of last year's final over Streetball FC Canada to punch their ticket into the last 4. In a game that'll kick things off here in just a few minutes, Ultrain FC taking on Bumpy Pitch. Bumpy Pitch is undefeated. Ultrain FC pulling the shocker, sending Hope Solo and Solo FC home late last night in the quarterfinals. Welcome into Wake Med Soccer Park here in Cary, North Carolina, alongside my good friend and colleague, Hercules Gomez. I'm Sebastian Salazar. Herc, we've been lucky enough to be at this tournament year 1, year 2, year 3, and it never ceases to amaze just how much each year this thing grows.
It keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I think the players as well. Every year they master it a bit more, and they find out what tendency works and which doesn't. Yeah, there's certainly some strategy here to 7 versus 7. Let's get to the players to watch today, courtesy of soccer.com. And we'll start with Gianna Riley, Herc.
Oh, Gianna Riley, 5 goals, 2 assists. This is a goal scorer, a playmaker. As good as they come, can score in the air with her head or on any foot. She's one to watch.
And for Ultrain FC, what about Ashley Henderson?
Oh, well, you said... spoiler to Solo FC, that would be Ashley Henderson. Comes on, scores the game winner. Eagle FC, USL, W League player there. Also, U.S. futsal national team. Lots of experience in tight places. She's one of these players that knows what she's doing in this type of service.
Lots of quality on the field. 7 versus 7 magic coming your way. It's the first half kickoff between Bumpy Pitch and Ultrain FC. Everybody chasing that $1 million prize. This is TST. The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management partner of TST. Hercules Gomez, Sebastian Salazar back with you from Cary, North Carolina as we get set for the first of two women's semifinals here at the soccer tournament. TST, Bumpy Pitch, taking on Ultrain FC. For those new to the competition, why don't we remind you on the rules? Of course, it is 7 versus 7, smaller field, 20-minute halves. No offside or throw-ins. There'll be kick-ins here. The ball must be advanced every 8 seconds. And key to the drama, every match ends in target score time. Target score time is effectively the end of regulation. The target score becomes one more than the team in the lead has. So you got drama, Herc, at the end of every game. I love this format.
You can never be counted out. Target score means you can never be counted out. We've seen it so many times. It doesn't matter which edition. Target score is imperative.
We got Ultrain FC here in the dark kits, in the, let's call them beige, is what we've got Bumpy Pitch wearing. Bumpy Pitch going left to right, Ultrain FC going right to left on your television screen. Here's the aforementioned Ashley Henderson. She is the player to watch. 3 goals already so far this tournament. 2 of them game winners. Ultrain FC, not everybody's favorite team after they eliminated Hope Solo's Solo FC last night. And some folks in programming were rooting for a U.S. women's national team versus Solo FC final matchup.
Could you imagine the drama, Sammy? Could you imagine the drama?
I mean, we all have Netflix, right?
I do not know what you mean.
Yeah, no, good documentary about the relationship between both sides. Unfortunately, we won't get that showdown. Solo, by the way, was excellent in goal, man. She had some highlight quality saves.
Well, you're talking about arguably the best women's goalkeeper in the world of all time. Arguably the best that's ever played the game. Caused a PK last night, but she herself said, hey, I'm going to get us back in this and stop that same PK.
So you mentioned the kind of fascination of target score time here at TST. Oh, here comes Ashley Henderson. She might be doing it on her own. One-on-one. Henderson drives. Scuffs at the first shot. Will she get a second attempt? No. Bumpy Pitch just desperately scrapping at it, trying to get it away, and they do so just about 2 minutes in.
You can see Ashley Henderson between players, 2-3 players, and she's going right, she's going left, a little shuffle of the hips. But just can't get it cleanly, falls between her feet, just can't strike it the way she would like.
Corey Rockwell, the referee, letting them play here. It's end-to-end action. Henderson on the ball again. Henderson drives it. Again, blocked away. Bumpy Pitch getting players behind the ball. Another chance here for Ultrain. Shot deflected off the post. Second opportunity. No! A point-blank miss for Allison Bedos.
I mean, there's a little bit of a deflection there. Point blank, you mentioned it. Left foot just leans back. Oh, Gianna Riley off her deflection to the post. Well, that's one that she's going to want back.
I was mentioning her target score time. So, Ultrain FC in the first game of this tournament were down 4-0 to Wrexham at the end of regulation and came back to win. That is the magic of target score time. You might be down 4-0 with 30 seconds left in regulation. When you hit TST, if you can shut them out and you can put some goals together, you've got a shot to pull it off.
Sebby, I'm going to be honest. In the 3 years we've been covering this edition, I've never seen anything like that. I was about to turn it off. I was about to turn this game off. I'm glad I didn't. Spectacular comeback.
And as a result, Ultrain FC here in the semifinal, one of 4 teams left fighting for that $1 million cash prize. Remember, it's winner take all here, so you don't make the final and win it, you go home empty-handed, but for the memories. Ultrain FC trying to work out of their own defensive end.
Immediately you see the posture, the differences in posture of the two teams. Bumpy Pitch FC opting 2 defenders and Ultrain opting with 3, but they're controlling the tempo, they're controlling the pace right now, and it's causing Bumpy Pitch FC a little bit of problems.
Bumpy Pitch has a lot of college players on their team, a lot of players from Florida State, which we know is an absolutely dominant program at the NCAA level. Also, a lot of players from the U.S. under-20 national team. So a lot of players, I think, who have played together. We should see some good chemistry here from Bumpy Pitch.
Yeah, and as the game wears on, these players, these very young players, this heat, this humidity, that'll pay dividends.
Dude, it is so hot here.
I see you. You're drenched. If somebody could come get Sebi a towel, some ice water, and sunblock, it would be great.
This is a true story. I left the hotel today and did an immediate U-turn because I was sweating in my car and had to go get towels from the front desk. It's hot down here in Cary, North Carolina, but we shouldn't be complaining. We're up here in the shade. Instead, Bumpy Pitch, Ultrain FC battling it out down on the field. WakeMed Soccer Park, the scene. Great crowds here throughout the week. Amazing scenes last night for the late game. Concaifa SC, of course, Pat McAfee's team, beating Nani FC to clinch their spot in the semifinals. They'll be the late game tonight. I think we'll have a huge crowd for that. Bumpy Pitch, working the perimeter. Perhaps a cross built for a different field. On 7-on-7, the effort there. Sophie Wynn of Florida State flies well past the Ultrain FC goal. 5 minutes here, still no score in the first of 2 semifinals on the women's side, and then we got 2 semis on the men's side coming up later tonight. Oh, watch out. Desperation defending again here from Bumpy Pitch. Ultrain FC not getting into this end of the field all that much, but when they do, creating problems for the team in beige.
You can see how important it is to change. There's a change for Bumpy Pitch. They don't really take care of it on the defensive end and transition on their own end. Goes across the face of the goal. Very dangerous.
Molly Square working with her back to goal. Turns it over. Now Bumpy Pitch can explode. Shot from distance. Didn't miss by much there. The effort from Kyla Mills.
Yeah, Mills by herself. Nobody really supporting ops from distance. A low percentage shot, really.
We talk about these Bumpy Pitch kids, man.
Those are sick, right?
Sick. I don't want to sweat through one.
You call them burgundy. A little pinstripe
beige. I think it's a beige.
Oh,
beige burgundy.
Beige burgundy.
Yeah, it's a beauty. Ashley Henderson. Oh, working one-on-one. Look out. Fast feet, too fast. Play on, says the referee. He's letting him be physical. Challenge there from Ryder Ajeto of Bumpy Pitch, one of the high schoolers on this Bumpy Pitch team. They got a couple class of 2026 grads.
Henderson's just so shifty. She's just so used to playing in these tight spaces, played for the U.S. Women's National Team futsal team. She's just so shifty, so creative, so technical. You really have to watch her.
And you can tell they're trying to get it to her. Henderson out wide here. They play through the middle instead. Oh! Challenge at the top of the box. Interesting. I thought that might be going to the penalty spot instead. It'll be Bumpy Pitch ball.
Yeah, you can hear the coach asking to get their shape. Bumpy Pitch right now. Yeah, no, it's a good call.
Definitely got it right.
Bumpy Pitch right now trying to get some sort of shape, discipline going, establish a little bit of possession, something they've not had much this game.
Good space here for McCall Zerboni. 2-time NWSL Best 11, 4-time NWSL champion. So just finished up her illustrious career with Gotham FC. Yelka Brown operating from the back. She's found Heather Gilchrist now. It's a great ball. Mill sends it across. Still no ability to penetrate. Shot from distance from Zerboni. Blocked out of bounds.
Yeah, Bumpy Pitch doing a good job, seeing how compact and disciplined their rival is. Finding the weak side, attacking that weak side defender, trying to isolate their players. Finally, some good action from Bumpy Pitch.
Interesting mix of players here in ages. You got the high schoolers, you got the college, you got the retired NWSL and international stars. An eclectic collection on this Bumpy Pitch roster, and a successful one so far, undefeated through the first games of this tournament and into the semifinals. Love that we can hear the coaching through the mics, the field side mics.
Yeah, you have to be careful if you're a coach. It's good to give them information, but you don't want to over-stimulate your players. You want to let them feel the game. You want to let them understand by themselves. Sometimes you just get confusing, but so far so good from Bumpy Pitch.
All right, that sounds like some past trauma. Who was the coach that yelled at you the most and got you out of your game?
How long do we have?
I got maybe Tuca Ferretti was one? Or no, was he a quiet guy on the side?
No, he's by no means quiet. Bob Bradley, by no means quiet.
Shot slammed across, parried up. And eventually, wrangled there.
No reason. Doing very well. You can hear the send Ashley.
Mm-hmm. They know who to go to.
Yeah.
The player to watch, everybody knows. Not just us up here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, Ashley Henderson isolated with her defender at the time, and if you can get it to her, she can turn face. She has the speed, technical ability. It's not a bad plan, but you need to be very careful because Bumpy Pitch is slowly coming into this.
Ali Prisak now the last defender for Bumpy Pitch. She's on the ball here. That's Yuki Nagasato, World Cup winner with Japan back in 2011, wearing the number 17. Here she is on the ball. What an amazing resume career. Played for Houston, Chicago, Louisville in the NWSL.
I was talking to Ben, one of the founders, the original founders of Bumpy Pitch. If you know, you know. The clothing brand, Brian Dunsev, Ben, the good things they've done.
I got like a Bumpy Pitch shirt from like a decade ago, man.
More than a decade ago. But they want people to understand that this is a representation of America, of what the U.S. today, and you see it right on display out in the field.
Gianna Riley, speaking of players to watch, earns the corner kick here for Bumpy Pitch, and they'll make some substitutions.
Gianna Riley, just so athletic. You know, she was a guard for Gonzaga when she played college basketball.
Yep, started at Gonzaga before eventually heading over to Florida State University, one of a few Seminoles on this roster. Played for the U.S. Under-20 team at the Under-20 World Cup last year, but has also worked with the Mexican Under-23 national team as well. So one of those dual nats we often find ourselves talking about on Futbol Americas and Football W. Which, of course, you can watch here on ESPN Plus Mondays, Thursdays for Futbol Americas, Tuesdays for Football W. Not enough field there for Kayla Dickerman. She runs out of space, and Bumpy Pitch will take over deep in their own end. 10 minutes gone here, almost 11, 0-0 between these two teams fighting for a spot in the final, and more importantly, a shot at that all-in $1 million cash prize.
So, Sebi, with the reduced field, the 77, the heat, the humidity, they have substitutions on the fly. It's very, very important that you do it the right way. You can't leave your team vulnerable. You have to switch, change on the fly where you have numbers up.
Ultrain pinging the ball around midfield, finally getting some possession here in the first half. Aaron Yenny, 2 goals, running the number 3 on the left side of the field here for Ultrain. Ultrain perhaps content here to take some air out of this game.
Oh, good ball. Very good idea. Trying to split the defender there.
Ali Prisak with the critical intervention there to keep Ultrain FC from a potential game-opening goal. Ashley Henderson back on the field for Ultrain as they make a couple changes here on the fly. Good outlet ball, finds Samantha Murphy. Aaron Yenny, the big win there. She's had a monster tournament so far in the number 3, 2 goals and a pair of assists for Ultrain FC.
Yeah, she was massive in that comeback versus the Red Dragons. 0-4, she had 2 goals and assists. Literally the best player on the field that game.
You see number 26 there for Bumpy Pitch, Scotland Antonucci. She's another one of the high schoolers on this team, on the ball now. Ashley Henderson driving here for Ultrain FC. Can she make something happen? Shot the left foot blocked and stays in. Henderson, another opportunity at it, blocked again, and this will go out of bounds for a corner kick. Let's send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Alexis Nunez, standing by. Alexis, what's up?
Yeah, thanks, Sevi. I've got a very special man here. And guess what? He's from our region, the CONCACAF region. We've got Shaka Hislop's brother from another mother from Trinidad and Tobago, Darius Marcel, and he's also the owner of Ultrain. Now, Darius, you guys broke a lot of hearts yesterday. I have to say, when you ousted Solo FC, a lot of people wanted to see the legendary goalkeeper go, but Ashley Henderson said no. How are you guys feeling after that big win?
I think around the camp, everyone feels great, high-spirited. It's one big team, and we had a session right before we went to that game where everyone shared what we were playing for, and a lot of us are playing for Ashley because she's come from like a low-income area and is a player just making her name out here in college. So the team is doing it all as one big family, I know Hope Solo got her save, so that was good. We checked all the boxes, but we're the Cinderella team, and our dream is to keep young girls looking up to these players so they can keep dreaming and aspiring to more.
Well, Ashley Henderson, remember the name. I think a lot of people will, especially after this tournament, regardless of how this game ends. But tell me a bit more about Ultrain for those wondering, who is this team that took down Hope Solo?
So Ultrain, we started Ultrain back in 2020, and we have the first soccer team management app, or as you say, football app, where you can manage your team, do your tactics. It's completely free, and we have a ton of educational content for young players. So it's been growing really rapidly. The fastest growing app, and what we decided to do here was give some players in the country who may not have had a chance to be on ESPN, live out their dreams and play against Hope Solo, the shot to be here, and we're going to lift that trophy.
Well, apart from Ashley Henderson, I know you've been talking closely to the coach. Who else should we keep an eye out for?
Macy, our number 9, but to be honest with you, that ball was out there. To be honest with you, a lot of people have a lot of heart on this team and are playing from pain and struggles and being cut from different teams, and they all come together here as underdogs to showcase what they have. And it's less about the money for anyone here, and it's more about the experience and living out their dreams. Something money can't buy.
Something money can't buy. We all love an underdog story. Thank you so much, Darius.
Thank you.
Chance here for Bumpy Pitch, looking to open the scoring, and they have! Right on cue! Bumpy Pitch take the lead. Taylor Suarez, her 4th goal of the tournament.
Right on cue. It's a good ball spread out wide. Isolates herself. Suarez can come in right to left and just near post beats the goalkeeper. It's very well taken. She knows she's 1-1-1. She knows she's isolated. Puts it on the left foot and cuts it right back into the net.
Taylor Suarez, a player who knows about scoring big goals in big games. Scored in the NCAA final a couple years ago when Florida State won it 3-2 over UNC, and she's got a massive goal that might be worth some money here at TST. Bumpy Pitch one step closer to that $1 million cash prize.
This is where it gets tense, Sevi. Now you're chasing the game. You're Ultrain, you're chasing this game. You've got to take some chances, take your liberties, but you can't leave yourself exposed. You know how dangerous Bumpy Pitch can be.
And I guess the counter is if you're Bumpy Pitch, you can't really rest on your laurels, right? You'd love to go into TST whenever that does roll around with a 2 or a 3 goal lead, because you know this Ultrain FC team can come back from even the most daunting deficits. "17 minutes down. Taylor Suarez, the lone goal in the 15th minute, has Bumpy Pitch up 1-0 on Ultrain FC. Half cross, half chip. Ended up not missing by much there from Sophie Wynn. Ultrain FC going long. Good switch here. Yuki Nagasoto, pure class on the ball, the World Cup winner. But now Bumpy Pitch have lost it. Quick ball into the middle from Ultrain, swept away by the defender, Heather Gilchrist. Nagasato, fancy touch. And a very confident touch. Win on the ball. Oh, ciao, Bella! Win tried to slip it across, but well defended ultimately there from Ultrain FC. The corners keep coming for Bumpy Pitch.
Watch Win drop the shoulder and just shimmy by her. Beep, beep, excuse me, I'll have that one. Just very confident.
Chance to turn with space here. Again, it's Win. Delivers the cross. Headed away. Bumpy Pitch turning up the pressure here as we approach the 20-minute mark.
Okay, let's go. Support Yuki. Get up, get up, get up. Ending here is okay. Ending here is okay.
Ultrain does very well of recovering the ball, but they don't do a good job, Sevi, of getting numbers up.
Yeah.
Supporting Veloz by herself versus the world, versus Bumpy Pitch FC. They need to do a better job once they do recuperate the ball of committing numbers forward.
Yeah, Veloz is there, and she's 1-on-4, all alone. Suarez already with a goal to her credit, looking for a second here. But Ultrain FC defense up to the task. Charging forward, it's Natalie Ordonez. Abandoning her spot in the back. And Ultrain FC creates some offense here. Time running out in the first half. Ultrain for now, content to pass it around the back. Trying to draw a bumpy pitch out. Bello's able to dig it out of the corner. Henderson lurking, but Taylor Suarez beat her to it. And that'll do it for the first half of action from Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. Bumpy pitch leads Ultrain FC 1-0. The game's lone goal so far, courtesy Taylor Suarez. We'll be back with more from Cary in just a moment. Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of TST. A reminder to visit soccer.com, the official store of the soccer tournament. Great to have you with us here at halftime of the first of two semifinals on the women's side of the bracket. Through 20 minutes, Bumpy Pitch FC leads Ultrain FC by a score of 1-0. The lone goal coming 15 minutes in from the Florida State Seminole, Taylor Suarez. Why don't we take a look at the first half stats brought to you by RBC Wealth Management. Herc, what stood out to you from the first 20 minutes?
Well, very close game. One goal, Taylor Suarez goal only separates the two. Everything's pretty even. Shots on goal, shots, the saves. I think this game has gone in waves. Good possession at first from Ultrain. And then as soon as they found that goal, as soon as Bumpy Pitch found that goal, they took control. And it's been all Bumpy Pitch.
Ultrain FC has the responsibility here in the second half. If they want a shot at that $1 million prize, they are going to have to come from behind. When we return, to Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. Second half kickoff between Bumpy Pitch and Ultrain FC. Today's broadcast is presented by Coca-Cola, the official fan refreshment of TST. Second half between Bumpy Pitch and Ultrain FC about to kick off. Real quick, let's explain target score time to you. The target score is set at the end of regulation. The target score equals the leading team score plus 1. So whichever team hits that number in target score time wins. And players are removed every 3 minutes. We have seen it get down to, I don't know, 1-on-1, but we've seen it get down to 2-on-2 and 3-on-3 in years past. Hercules Gomez, Sebastian Salazar back with you from Cary, North Carolina, Wake Med Soccer Park, where the second half of action is underway. Bumpy Pitch in the beige kits going right to left on your screen. Ultrain FC, who trail right now 1-0, are in the dark kits going left to right. No reason wearing the number 99 in goal for Ultrain FC. Gave up just the 1 goal in the first half from Taylor Suarez. And that's the difference between these two teams. Again, at stake, $1 million. Not today, but tomorrow in the final. Ultrain FC trying to force the ball into Henderson there. McCall Zerboni steals it away and draws the foul just outside the area. Dangerous opportunity coming here for Bumpy Pitch FC.
Yeah, you could see Henderson feeling forced, like she has to come deep to receive the ball. Zerboni knows exactly where that's going. It's a good job right there. You're going to see stealing the ball, and then Henderson just comes through the back right there. It's a clear foul. And watch out, Zerboni and Gianna Riley sitting over the ball. Gianna Riley can strike this with the right foot. Zerboni looking at the left.
Riley 5 goals already on the tournament. Zerboni 1. It'll be Riley. We got a bad angle to see that, but it did not look like it missed by much, huh?
Just look at the step up, that short little walk up, and then, oh, that thing is dipping.
Wow.
I don't know if Ultrain knew much about it, but it goes wide.
Veloz on the ball. Try to slide it centrally. But the Bumpy pitch defense is up to the task. Ultrain pushing numbers forward now. Might get caught on the counter. It's a 3-on-2 if they hustle. Bumpy pitch with numbers. Zerboni wide to Riley. Gianna Riley one-on-one. Looking for a 6th goal of the tournament. And denied by the number 99. Nana Reason.
Oh, Nana Reason, very well done right there. That's a tricky one. Gianna Riley, as soon as she isolates here, Seb, look at this. Good ball out wide. She isolates. She knows exactly what she wants to do. A little trick move right there. Whoop, to the right. And then very lucky that it went through the traffic. A little bit of a deflection, but Nana Reason does very well.
We got 20-minute halves here, and again, we are headed to target score time at the end of regulation. Right now, the target score would be 2, so Bumpy Pitch would need 1 goal, Ultrain FC would need 2 to win, and Ultrain FC knows all about those target score time comebacks. They did it in the opener, down 4-0 against Wrexham, came back to win 5-4. 5 unanswered goals with your backs against the wall. That's how good this Ultrain FC team is. Here comes their defender, Natalie Oroños, to Henderson. She'll slip it wide to Dickerman.
Guys, get in your damn faces. Do not pass. Do not pass. Get your shot. Get your shot.
Bumpy pitch, trying to get end line, but good defending there from Ultrain FC. As Scotland Antonucci runs out of real estate, it'll be a goal kick for the team in dark.
Yeah, Antonucci just ran out of ideas, then ran out of real estate. But you can hear the desperation of the Ultrain FC coach. Wants his team to be settled, just a bit more settled. They're too rushing. They're not making the proper adjustments. And Nana Reason right there, just kicking the ball out of bounds.
Here comes Mills. You can tell what the instructions are. Dribble, dribble. She's following them. Releases now. Bumpy pitch. Not obligated to press for a goal here. The pressure falls on Ultrain FC. 16 minutes and counting for them to try and equalize before we head to target score time.
It's a good thing you mentioned that. Under no obligation, that means they can draw the opponent out. They can draw Ultrain out. They're the ones who need the goal. You can possess. You can try to open them up, being very, very patient.
Ryder Ajeto has drawn a corner kick here for Bumpy pitch. Antonucci. He was the last to touch it, and it'll be Ultrain FC ball. Oh, nice turn. Pure class from Oroños.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Oroños just completely fixed that. That was a dangerous ball across the face of goal, and Oroño, very well done. Get out of trouble.
Ajeto trying to go over the top. Miss Nagasato, and that could have been a break there for Bumpy Pitch FC. Instead, Ultrain on the ball 5 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, it's the Bumpy Pitch coach you can hear now telling his team to settle down. He wants a little bit more composure. He's yelling, settle, settle.
Nagasato's touch misses the mark. You find yourself saying that very rarely for the legendary Japanese international. But it's presented an opportunity here for Ultrain FC. Macy Teeter with 3 goals to her name already on the tournament. Can't fight her way past the Bumpy Pitch defense, and what looked like a break for Ryder Ajeto instead gets whistled dead by our center referee, Corey Rockwell.
Now, I know Ultrain's already come back from a 4-goal deficit in this tournament, but they got to start showing signs of life here.
There you go. If you're going to get it, it might come from this player. Ashley Henderson on the ball and running the break. Lays it off! Goal! We got an equalizer!
Christy Zwolski with the finish.
Kelsey Kyan there, the goal scorer, her 3rd of the tournament to make it 1-1.
Excuse me, pardon me, you're right. Great finish, but it starts by Ashley Henderson. Ashley Henderson, right when you mentioned they need to show signs of life. A good little ball in, a great finish. Ashley's falling with her left foot and just over the goalkeeper.
Bumpy pitch looking for the immediate response. That shot fired over by Gianna Riley.
And Gianna Riley trying to take matters into her own hands.
13 minutes to go in regulation here. Oh, no! What a save! From zero to hero!
It's changing right now. And if we don't change it back, it's not going to go how we
Do not know how much you knew about this. It's a clearance.
She knew enough to keep it up.
It takes a wicked bounce here. The fields are hard. They are dry. Does very well to save that. Acrobatic save. Look at that. Does not know. This is very brave of her crashing with that post.
And Oba has, of course, just come into the game here in the second half, so a little goalie change then for Bumpy Pitch. And that was really her first action of the game. Yikes.
You have to be ready, and I'll tell you what, that's a very hard bounce to fields. They're a little hard. It's hot, it's humid, it's dry. You don't really know the way the ball's going to bounce. It was a very, very tricky one. She does very well. Keep that out of the back of the net, puts her body on the line.
Ashley Henderson will put the ball in play. Feels like she thinks it's a throw. Ah, there it is. Looks like no throw-ins, no offside here.
I think she was waiting for her teammates. She's asking for help, asking for somebody to come support her. You mentioned it before, Seb. If Ultrain FC is going to have some sort of danger, some sort of heartbeat, it's most likely going to come through Ashley Henderson.
1-1 here between Bumpy Pitch and Ultrain FC. Kelsey Kuhn with the goal in the second half for Ultrain. Taylor Suarez with the goal 15 minutes into the first half for Bumpy Pitch. And that's where we stand. Gianna Riley been a threat all tournament. Denied here by Ashley Henderson. How about that one-on-one matchup?
Yeah, two Titans going at it right there.
Chance for a long-distance shot, well struck. Parried out of bounds by Reason, who makes another save to keep us 1-1.
Yeah, it's not as easy. It's not that easy for Reason. Reason right there with the deflected shot. Does very well. Keeps the eye on it.
Another big swat from Reason as that ball was redirected goal-bound by Katie Johnson.
That resourceful finish from Katie. Very good save from Reason.
Another corner comes across. Shot. Deflected and whistles past the far post. It'll be yet another corner kick for Bumpy Pitch FC, who are knocking on the door for a second.
Yeah, Nona Reason with a lot of action in front of her goal right here. This is not an easy ball to try to save. There's deflections going right in front of her across the face of goal. A lot of action for Nona Reason.
We gotta drop. Like, why are we backing off right there? We should be killing them right there.
Kayla Dickerman wins the throw-in for Ultrain FC, manages to advance the ball into the Bumpy Pitch end. Interesting, Herc, to see the strategy here in the last 10 minutes. Will somebody go for it and risk maybe giving up a goal, knowing that at the end of the day, this game will be decided in target score time?
You can see how goals change games. Ultrain FC now with a little bit of confidence. They feel good going forward. They're taking their chances. They are leaving themselves susceptible for a transition moment. They understand what this tournament's about.
Shea Harvey of Stanford on the ball. Fires it wide to Suarez. Suarez 1-on-2. She says, I don't care. And she'll earn another corner kick for Bumpy Pitch. Shame you don't get any credit for corners. Bumpy Pitch probably has about a dozen. Harvey. Yeah, just re-rack what I just said. Here's Harvey. Suarez. 1-2 combination. Kayla Mills turns, fires. And off the mark as Ultrain FC will take over.
Yeah, this is good footwork from Mills. Very good turn. Unleashes a shot. No reason. She's there, but still dangerous.
Reason having herself a big second half. Also pretty active in that first half as Bumpy Pitch rained it down. But for all their efforts, The team in beige has just one goal. Zerboni diving at that. He gets there first. Bumpy Pitch keeping possession.
Yeah, Zerboni and Bumpy Pitch doing a good job of keeping Ultrain FC just pinned into their own half, their own defensive third. They're moving the ball around very patiently. Bit of a clinic in this moment.
Antonucci, the high schooler, in the corner. Tries to split the defenders. It's out of bounds. So that's Sophie Wynn on the ball. Wynn on it again. Lasers across, deflects off an Ultrain FC player. Corner kick coming for Bumpy Pitch. Short field, so the corner's kind of a different strategy and approach. They tried to go short there on the end line. Some contact. Appeals for perhaps a penalty, but no call from Corey Rockwell, and we play on. Henderson in the neighborhood. Always dangerous.
You can see the tactics. Bumpy Pitch wants to open you up. Ultrain FC, nobody in the box for the corner kick. They stay disciplined. There are two different postures right now. Bumpy Pitch want to open you up. They want to use the width, the surface, and well, Ultrain, they just want to transition. They're trying to survive at the moment.
Faith George gives up possession. Shot from Henderson. That's a big time save from Shuoba.
Shuoba, okay, Shu. Just Ashley Henderson, just so smooth and then just so lethal in the way she shoots. Look at this. It's gonna be a nice little turn. Unleashes a thunderbolt in Shuoba. It's not easy when you don't have action. It's not easy when you're not active. To be active and to be present in that moment. Ridiculous save.
Corner kick for Ultrain FC. Can they find a go-ahead goal? Nice play. Well executed. The left-footed shot deflected out of bounds, and we'll have another corner kick here off the effort from Kelsey Keown. Keown with 3 goals on the tournament, 1 today. A 4th would be massive. Cross comes in, and nobody in the neighborhood as Shuoba collects it cleanly. Oba, great distribution over the top. Ryder Ajeto. Again, one of the high schoolers on this team for Bumpy Pitch.
Ultrain has to be very careful because Bumpy Pitch FC, they're trying to bait him in, those corner kicks. Those defensive corner kicks. A lot of players in the box, and they know they want to go in transition. They're creating that space for themselves.
Ajeto turns onto her left foot. Now double team. Manages to keep the ball. She wants a foul. Won't get it. Rockwell been letting him play on all afternoon. Ball stays in somehow for Bumpy Pitch. No. Throwing, or playing coming, I should say. Ultrain FC. 34 minutes passed in this one. We got about 6 minutes left to go in regulation. Bumpy Pitch applying the high press. Instead, the long ball nearly finds Ashley Henderson for Ultrain FC. Gianna Riley, shutout so far after a great tournament. 5 goals, no assists for the number 5 for Bumpy Pitch. Henderson to put the ball in play, ever dangerous, but that's a terrible pass across the middle and opens things up here for Bumpy Pitch. Instead, McCall Zerboni, the veteran, steps on the ball, gives it some pause. Ball turned over back and forth in midfield, then a big collision, and we've got some very, very unhappy people on the Ultrain FC bench as this call goes the way of Bumpy Pitch.
Yeah, but it's the correct call. Ashley Henderson just comes across.
Tell me not everything's one way. Tell me not everything's one way again.
We all have our perspective, Herc, I think is the point.
This is a clear foul, just follows through. It's unfortunate, but it's a clear foul.
To be fair, Coach doesn't have what we have, which is the benefit of replay, no? He might be singing a different tune. What do you always say? They're conditioning the refs, no?
That's right.
You're always asking for the next call. It's always about the next call. 1-1, 4 minutes to go in regulation. We're looking like we're headed to a tight TST target score time here in the first semifinal.
Take a look at Shuoba, the goalkeeper for Olympia. She's offering herself as a field player right now. They're trying to create more numbers against Ultrain. You have to be very careful. Cannot lose the ball.
Risky move there from Heather Gilchrist, but the defender manages to come away with the ball. Taylor Suarez double teamed in the corner, manages to keep it for Bumpy Pitch. Well defended from Aaron Yenny, the captain for Ultrain FC.
Yeah, asking to play with the goalkeeper.
We don't even commentary here.
No,
Just let
no.
the coach do it, yeah.
But you can see the intention. They want to create numbers. They want to play out of that. You got to be very careful.
Oof. Big challenge here, big moment. Who's going to come away with this? And Bumpy pitch with a much-needed win. Otherwise, Ultrain FC could have been in with numbers. Cross in to Gianna Riley, but it's far too long for the number 5.
Yeah, you can see the posture set. They want to use shoe. They want to use the goalkeeper. They want to create numbers. They want to build out of the back, create that isolation. Gianna Riley being isolated there with her defender. The intention is clear from Bumpy pitch, but it's never not been clear for Ultrain. Ultrain want to defend and want to transition,
And they want a goal too. Henderson, the left-footed blast, deflected. And Bumpy pitch will clear. Katie Johnson loses out in the header. But the ball ends up at the feet of Heather Gilchrist. She's under extreme pressure now. Riley turns, clattered to the ground, and she'll draw the free kick for Bumpy pitch.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. Gianna Riley knows she wants to turn with the ball, tries dummying it, creates contact from the defender. Now a line change for both teams.
And an absolutely massive 90 seconds coming here. If either team can score, they would just have a huge leg up headed into target score time. Again, the team in the lead, we add 1 to that total, and that is the target score. Whoever hits it first. In this case, we'll be playing tomorrow for $1 million.
How much?
$1 million.
Might have to get in on that next year.
Now, you used to tell me about your Liga MX days and how you know there were some games that you knew allegedly would have a little extra cash on it. Could you imagine though playing a game for $1 million?
He means the ownership group would sweeten the prize for us if we won. That's what he's trying to say. Never like this though.
No. And I think that's a big reason of why you get the interest and the intensity, Kirk, frankly, that we get in these games.
Of course.
Long ball here for Katie Johnson. She's got a runner in the middle if she can pick her out. Johnson thought about it, but eventually drops it for Taylor Suarez. Suarez already with a goal today. It came in the 15th minute. Seconds left here in regulation. We play 2 20-minute halves and then on to TST. Ball cycled down low, but intercepted by Ultrain FC. Olivia Milski won the ball, but has now given it up. Johnson, back to goal. Can she find a teammate? She did in Sophie Wynn, but her effort to cross blocked away by Oronios. Hopeful ball into the box. Well challenged, but in the end, it's Reason who comes and collects with confidence.
Yeah, Reason may be the best player that Ultrain has had this, I want to say second half. Just so composed and so good in the back, organizing.
And there you have it. The end of regulation between Bumpy Pitch FC and Ultrain FC. We are 1-1 and headed to target score time with a chance to play for $1 million. We're back with the dramatic conclusion from Cary, North Carolina, right after this. The soccer tournament is presented by Adidas, the official fanwear and performance footwear partner of TST. We are headed to target score time in the first of 2 semifinals on the women's side of the bracket at TST Bumpy Pitch FC and Ultrain FC knotted at 1 after 40 minutes in the Carolina heat. This is the first of 4 games that you'll be able to see here on ESPN Plus and late night on ESPNU. Coming up at 4:30 p.m., the defending champions on the women's side. U.S. women take on Reunion City Dallas in the second semifinal on that side of the bracket. Then at 6 p.m. Eastern, on the men's side of the bracket, it's Bumpy Pitch Men taking on Pasha Luxury. And then the nightcap, Concaifa SC. That's right, Pat McAfee's team taking on Pumas de Alabama, a team that has shown quite brightly so far here this tournament. That is all still to come. Right now, we've got the all-important matter of target score time between Bumpy Pitch and Ultrain FC. Let's explain it to you. The target score is set now at 2 because it was 1-1 at the end of regulation. The first team to hit that 2 will win this and head on to the final, and players will be taken off, 1 for each team every 3 minutes. So right now, we are starting 7-on-7, but we could get down to 3-on-3, maybe even 2-on-2, depending on how long this thing drags on. We are underway here in target score time. The next goal will be worth a shot at $1 million. Hercules Gomez, Sebastian Salazar with you from Cary, North Carolina. Ultrain FC in the dark kits, going right to left on your screen. Bumpy Pitch in the beautiful beige, going left to right. It is next goal wins here in Cary, North Carolina. Bumpy Pitch playing out of the back, and they've lost it. Ashley Henderson on the ball. Henderson drives. She wants the foul. Will not get it. I'm telling you, Corey Rockwell, he has swallowed his whistle in this game.
Yeah, that looked like one to me. It's a good little move. Dips the shoulder, creates separation, takes a little hand to the chest. Looked like a contact.
3-on-3. Ball scuttled away. Mills with the chance. Mills with the goal! Puts Bumpy Pitch into the final, and tomorrow they'll be playing for $1 million.
Nona Reason, who's been absolutely spectacular all day. Cannot with Mills. Mills off the rebound. One step closer, Seb, to $1 million.
And as the score of that all-important goal, Kayla Mills gets the golden fleece here in Cary, North Carolina, which, among other things, I believe means she's got entrance into this tournament for life. So at least free admission as we get one more look at the game winner.
Yeah, no reason, just trying to pick up a very difficult, low, hard-driven shot right there. Doesn't parry it wide enough, doesn't get any help. And Mills, open net, not going to miss from there. And that's your game winner.
Hercules, I want to point out there the effort from Ryder Ajeto. She's the player that comes across and lays it off for Mills. Remember, that's one of the high schoolers on this team making an absolutely huge play to help Bumpy Pitch get the goal that puts them through to the final 2-1 over Ultrain FC. Right now, let's send it down to the field with Alexis Nunez. Alexis.
Yeah, thanks, Semi. And it's not every day you get to hang out with a FIFA World Cup winner. Yuki Nagasato, you are in the final of TST. What's a bit more tense, a World Cup final or this final? Because we're talking about $1 million.
I mean, this finals makes me more exciting. Like, everything is a small side of a game, and then so many transition, and it makes me that feeling more exciting. Yeah.
Well, I've spoken to some of the girls on the bench, and they said this is just, they have to pinch themselves that they get to play this with you. But for you, what's it like been playing with them in this different kind of football, playing with a team?
So, I never crossed the generation playing with younger people. It's kind of nice experience for me because I never got experience. So it's very nice, and everyone has a different kind of background, and everyone has a different purpose to play here. So kind of nice.
So how are you feeling now with the final? We're going to let you go celebrate with your team.
Goodness, I couldn't believe we really made this final. Oh my God.
Oh, congratulations. You can go celebrate.
Thank you.
Great stuff, Alexis. There she is, Yuki Nagasato, comparing a World Cup final, which she has won, to the TST final, which she will play tomorrow for $1 million, and saying she's at least as excited for a shot at this 7-on-7 crown. Why don't we take a look at the bracket now that we've got at least one of the finalists secured. On the women's side, Bumpy Pitch locking their spot in the final thanks to this 2-1 victory over Ultrain FC. We know that they'll be playing the winner of the second semifinal. That one's coming up at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time here on ESPN+. We get a look at the defending champs and some of the biggest names in American soccer history. It's the U.S. women looking for a second straight title and a second straight $1 million, taking on Reunion City Dallas. The winner of that game will face Bumpy Pitch tomorrow for $1 million. What a game, Herc.
What an absolute game. Ultrain FC, worthy team to be here and participate, but it's Bumpy Pitch FC, the women, who come out and just steal an absolute shocker here in Cary, North Carolina.
Kayla Mills, the goal that may well tomorrow prove to be worth $1 million. Bumpy Pitch is through to the finals. Ultrain FC eliminated in the semis. For Hercules Gomez, I'm Sebastian Salazar. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here at 4:30 for the U.S. women.